Hello, wonderful person that are on this platform. I want to welcome you to another wonderful edition of Success, Leadership, and Faith Hub with your lovely, romantic, inspiring friend, brother, Prasiken Emmanuel. That's my name. I wanted to know that we're going to have a very wonderful time today. But before I go into what we have for today, please make sure that you need to subscribe to our channel. You need to also get connected with us on the phone that is on the screen, and let's get connected. And let me have a feedback of how we have been able to impact on you and assisted you to succeed. Please click on the notification buttons and every other button that you need to get connected with so that we get going. All right. Today, I'm going to be saying something that I consider that is very, very important when it has to do with success, when it has to do with faith, when it has to do with leadership, and that has to do with correct decision making, correct or accurate decision making. As I was trying to walk up to this place to do this broadcast or this training session, something was just going into my mind, and I said to myself, I said, right decision is a constant in the equation of success. Right decision, decision making, correct decision, accurate, precise decision is a constant in the equation of success. Every day of our lives, including me, before I decided to, for me to be able to come up with these, I had to make a decision. So decision making is something that everyone does. Is that you make a decision to go forward or you make a decision to go backwards. So I give a lot of attention before I make some decisions concerning myself, concerning my marriage, concerning my family, concerning the organization that I lead. So it is for you also. There are certain decisions that you need to make, that you always make it. In fact, for you to be watching me now is a decision. You can actually make a decision. Please don't make a decision to work out. Don't work out. Just make sure you hook on, because this is why several people succeed, and this is one of the reasons why several people also fail. One wrong decision can take you 30 years backwards. One right decision can take you 60 years forward. So it's all about decision making. So I'm going to be sharing with us 4 things, or 4 to 5 things, as time will permit us within this 15 minutes. 4 or 5 things that you must consider when it has to do with decision making, or 4 or 5 things that you are not supposed to do. There are 4 things that you are not supposed to do. 4 to 5 things that you're not supposed to do whenever you want to make a decision. You want to make a decision of who to marry. You want to make a decision of the school to attend. You want to make a decision of the church to attend, or a relationship to get into, a business to do, or whatever it is. These are 4 strategic things I've actually applied in my life, and I keep applying, because in decision making, we all make decisions until we make final decision to die. So number 1 is, never you make a decision when you are under pressure. Never you ever make a decision because you're going to make a mistake. When you're under financial pressure, when you're under spiritual pressure, when you are under emotional pressure or physical, you are not feeling fine, you're trying to make a decision for a permanent decision on a temporary satisfaction. Let me explain this, it's going to help you. Someone is trying to put pressure on you as a young lady, and the person wants to marry you and tells you, I'm leaving for the United States. Maybe you're a Nigerian, I'm leaving for the United States tomorrow. You must say yes now. Oh, say yes now. I can't wait. Listen, tell the person to travel and come back. Within a space of time, you'll be able to get the right decision in that regard. Because one is that we have a lot of emotional release or emotional hormones that are made available anytime we want to make a decision. And most of the times, if you're not careful, you're going to walk out of that right decision and do a wrong one. Let me just explain further. For those of us who attend church, who are Christians, someone is putting pressure on you and telling you, God told me, God told me, God told me, God told me. Yes, we believe in God. We appreciate God. But allow God also to speak to you in that regard. You have to make sure that you make decisions in that regard. Making sure that you don't make a decision because of the pressure, spiritual pressure someone is placing on you. Or let's say, for instance, you're having financial problem, and someone is putting you under pressure. Pay this money, paying this money, paying this money, paying this money. And you really desperately needed that money. But you know what? Several persons have actually been swindled because they invested money into something because of financial pressure. Nobody wants to be under financial pressure. Or maybe you're owing someone and you're trying to borrow in order to pay back that debt. You're already getting yourself into another indebtedness. So under financial pressure, under any kind of physical pressure, emotional pressure, or maybe you lost a dear one and someone is telling you, come over, let's just have some discussions. Some ladies have been raped. Married women have been sexually abused. Why? Because under that emotional pressure, maybe they lost their husband, or maybe probably your husband got you angry, or you're under pressure. I've had a lot of shit in this regard, and your ex walks in and says, don't worry, I'll make it up with you, I'll make it up for you, and before you know it, you find yourself getting involved in extramarital relationship, and it's going to be damaging. So you have to make sure that when you're under pressure, someone gets you angry, when you're under financial pressure, when there's a spiritual pressure on you, when there is a physical pressure, your children are not doing well, there are those school fees you've not paid, and a lot of pressures around you. Please don't make a decision when you are under pressure. All right. Number 2, never you make a decision when you do not have adequate information. Information is key. A lot of people have gone into some business deals because of wrong, inadequate, insufficient information. Before now, I've been thinking of people say information is power. But I say you can have information, but the information is insufficient. So when there is insufficient credit on your phone, you can't make call. So when you have insufficient information, you're just almost like the person that doesn't have at all, because both of you are going to make a mess of your life. So once you want to make a decision about a man you want to marry, try to get the right information about who the person is, where is this guy from. Someone just walks up to you as a young lady and just tells you, I love you, just hop into my car and let's go somewhere and have some time. I'm going to marry you tomorrow. Okay, no problem. Where do you work, sir? So sweetheart, just call him sweetheart so he can pop up his head. Say, where do you work? What do you do? Where are you from? Who is your father? Who are your friends? Can I know you more? And then by the time you do your due diligence, you find out that you can actually make right decisions in that regard. Recently I lost a lot of money, close to about 4.2 million naira, which I'm trying to recover through the court process. Okay. Our company, a client wanted to dispose of a property, and then we consulted for the person, and before you know it, even though we did due diligence, there was a lot of issues. Why? Because the people that are involved, the surveyors and the real estate experts, did not do the due diligence. And it's a lot of challenge in that regard. So this is very, very, very important. Whether you want to buy a property, whether you want to marry, whether you want to travel. A lot of young people want to travel outside the country, or Dubai, or you want to go to Australia. Many Africans, they want to travel outside. But you find out that you don't actually have the requisite, absolute 100% information of what you want to get into. Once you get into that, and that's how people have lost their lives, lost their money, lost everything that they have. So you must make sure you seek for the right, accurate, sufficient information about anything that you want to get involved in. The third thing you need to do is this: never you make a decision without considering the input of others. Never you make a decision. I've actually been able to do some stuff around my life, and I've succeeded because I've always exposed myself to certain information. You don't know it all. It's almost like the second one, but just quite different. The book of Proverbs said, a wise counsel, you use wise counsel to make war. There are certain things, information you have at your disposal, a lot of things you have, but the advice of someone can actually help you out of that. trying to let someone know what you're doing is something that you cannot afford to forget in this life. You must make sure that you get the advice of someone that is wiser than you. You talk to your colleagues, you let them know what you're doing. I have a lot of people around me who are very secretive and they have lost a lot of money. I don't want people to know about that. I'm not a secretive person. I'm always exposed. I'm always willing to let people know this is what I'm doing, and I've been able to escape from a whole lot of stuff like that. Let me just share this, and it's going to help you in what I'm saying. Someone walked up to our organization and wanted to offer to give us a property, and everybody was excited. She came up with some stuff like that and all the rest of them. Ideally, just like an average leader like me, people just want to give their people surprises, and they will just cover up the proposal by this wonderful quote and unquote rich young lady. But you know what? In my humorous and simple manner, I was able to let out the information to 1 or 2 or 4 persons and try to do due diligence. Before you know it, I discovered that it was a fraud. I discovered that the girl wanted to just take advantage of the system. Okay, what if I did not consider the wisdom from several persons who are around? What if I didn't take counsel from the people that are younger than I am? What if I decided not to get them involved in what I am doing? You can't do it alone. You need the advice, you need the input, you need the expertise of some people who are professionals. You need to get the expertise of people who are not even professionals, who are just on the street. In every profession, in anything you do, there are people who are certified, who have certifications, but there are people who are what we call in the local language street sense. There are people who have street sense about building, people who have street sense about property development, people who have street sense about every single thing in this life. So you must make sure that you consider these people in order for you to make the right decisions. And finally, never make a decision without divine verification. Never make a decision without divine verification. You may get the right information, you may get the right counsel, you may actually make this decision when you have this wholeness and you believe that it's going to give you profit. But there is one thing that you don't need to forget. You must make sure you make the decision considering and subjecting it to divine scrutiny. Every man can make mistake. The president of America can make mistake. The local person, I can make mistake. But you know what? God cannot make any mistake. So you must make sure you subject such kind of decision making in your marriage, in your business. Don't tell me that you have been in business for 23 years. You need to subject it to God. You need to ask God for wisdom. You need to ask Him to direct you. You need to ask Him to cause you to escape harm. You need to ask Him to show you. I don't really know this guy, but I love him, but you just decide for me. And before you know it, there's going to be a signal. Before you know it, something will pop up. I've been able to escape a lot of disaster in my business, in my personal life, in my ministry drive as a pastor, as a lawyer. I've been able to get out of a lot of shit. Why? Because I subjected always my decisions under God's scrutiny. So, dear friends, if you want to make a decision, get the right information. Whenever you make a decision without the right information. Number 2, make sure that you get the wise counsel of experienced people or subjected to people's input. And whenever you make a decision when you are under pressure, and whenever you make a decision without God's consideration, I pray for you. The wisdom of God is going to work in your place, in your business, in your career, in your pursuit. You won't walk into mistake. God is going to help you. By the time you're exhausted with the information, with the correctness of access of inputs of people, I see God help you. I see heaven orchestrate right decisions in your favor in the precious mighty name of Jesus Christ. I speak to you at this point in time as you make the decision in your business, as you make the decision in your marriage, in your marriage relationship, as you make the decision in where you are going to live, what you want to do next year, what you want to do in your pursuit of making sure your children succeed in everything you want to do. I ask that the wisdom of God should help you and will help you always in the precious mighty name of Jesus Christ. All right, go ahead and make the decisions with these 4 points. I see you next time, but before I go, make sure you click on the like buttons, notification buttons. Once we come across your way, you are going to have us bam and full. All right, this is your friend and your brother, Basikena Emmanuel, on success, leadership, and faith help. See you.